I'm Andrew, the Paisley Robot Guy, and we're back. So, here is the ultrasonic sensor module, and now it has to be mounted into place. So move this, I'll bring this here. Okay, so let's explain what this is. This will actually go towards the top part of the robot. So I'll explain what this piece does. So here's what it is from the side. As you can see, there are 4 screw holes here. This will mount this module to the body of the robot, and it'll be in this orientation. So one of the 2 servo motors for the camera will go in here. So it will face up, and then screws will go in here that attach that servo here, and that servo will move the HD camera this way, in this orientation. But before we do that, we have to mount this sensor module. These 2 holes here in the sensor module will go in here. Now, once that's in here, this space gets pretty busy, and there are a few cables here. So there will be cables for the sensor, and there'll be cables for the servo motor. So first thing first, I'm going to grab my sensor cables. So here are my sensor cables. They're bundled up nicely, and I'm going to unbundle most of them. So here are the remaining cables, and that one fell out just nicely for us. And that's the one I'm going to use. Now, these sensor cables are keyed. So you can see here, this orientation, there's a slot. This white piece has got a slot in it. And these cables have a side into it. There's a piece in here. There's a piece of plastic. You may not be able to see it, but there is a specific orientation to this cable, and it's keyed. So we'll put the cable in this way, or excuse me, maybe the other way. It can be a little particular. It's a little tricky to get. It takes some finesse. These are small cables. Okay. So this cable is in, and now it's time. Before I mount this in, let me get the servo motor and do a quick test fit before I start assembling things. You know that old adage, measure twice, cut once? So we'll unwrap the cable and be very careful to not put much stress on these cables. These are ribbon cables, okay? They're flimsy. All right, they're really not meant for high stress applications. So you have to be careful here. This motor, if you make a mistake, you may put it in the wrong orientation. But in the orientation, this is the front. This is where the ultrasonic sensor goes. And then this white piece goes closer to the front. So it will go in like this. And then on this other side, we'd be very, very mindful of the cables. Now, as you can see, I'm going to do this test fit with the ultrasonic sensor. If we put that in here, you see that? It's a very cramped space. So that's why we put the ultrasonic sensor cable in first. And I most certainly intend on doing that. But the thing that will go in first is this servo motor. As you can see, it gets busy in here, and the screws for the servo motor come up through the bottom. And this is for our M2x4 screws. So this would be for our machine screws. Let me relocate them here on my desk. So these are the self-tapping screws, and here are the machine screws that we need. Now I have got something to help me out and keep these organized. I have this plastic cup, this tiny plastic cup. So I'm going to take 2 of these machine screws and put them into my tiny plastic cup for safekeeping. There's 1, and there's 2. So there are 2 of these M2x4 machine screws. Now this screwdriver is very nice, but it's not magnetic. So I've upgraded, and I have this magnetic precision screwdriver that can help me out. So I have it, and it's a nice strong magnet. I'm holding the screws by it. I only need one of them, but that's nice. It helps me from losing screws. So I'm going to attach this like so. Use my finger for guidance and put the servo motor in here, and in so doing be mindful of the cable. So it's a very tiny hole here for alignment. So I'll get it started. Again, get this assembly started. So it's started again with the screws a little loose at first so that I can align the part. So we'll get the second screw in. So grab the second screw here, put it on my screwdriver, rotate the assembly, hold it in this fashion, put the screw into the hole, and then start rotating it in. You can feel it catch. Since the first screw is already started, I'm going to completely tighten this one down. Don't want to go too tight. I mean, it's nice and firm. Just don't want to go too tight because the servo motor is got a plastic mount. If you go too tight, there's a risk of breaking it. So it's nice, just nice and firm. All right, hand tight. Don't want to go too tight. And now the next thing to do is to put this ultrasonic sensor in this assembly. So these are actually some very nice big screws, and I can use the screwdriver that came with the kit. These are M3x6 screws. So here they are, M3x6 screws. And I have my plastic cup, and I'll take 2 of these screws and put them into my plastic cup. So open up the bag and start. Whoops, too many. See, that's why I have the plastic cup. If I accidentally take too many, I can put the appropriate number back. So I will, here's the 2 that I need. Here are 3 of them that accidentally came out of their bag. So I can put these back, seal the bag, keep the screws there for safekeeping, and use the magnetic screwdriver that came with this kit. So I can do that. See, it pulls up on one of the screws. It's like magnetic fishing, but for screws. Okay, so I'll take my sensor module and line up the holes. So I'll get this one started. So this one's started. Again, leave a little bit of slop, all right? And also, in so doing, be mindful of the cables. Might be good to route this one off to the side while we're at it. That way it doesn't get flexed inappropriately during this mounting process. So I'll get the next screw, take that, put that in the screwdriver. Got the hole lined up. Now it can be a little bit difficult to see because this is a black anodized body with a black anodized piece with a black screw. It's going to be somewhat difficult to see the screw holes when you're lining this up. So just be mindful of that and have a well-lit working space. So I'll put this screw in. I'm going to start tightening it down. All right, tightening it down. Okay, that's tight. I get this next one. Start tightening it down. And I'm going to put a little more on that. And it looks like this module's aligned. Looks like it's good. And this will go on the top of the robot, and make sure my cables are not flexed too much. Don't want those. See, this is a very delicate area down here. I'm going to point to it with my screwdriver. You see these cables at the bottom of the servo motor? Yeah, you don't want to flex that, otherwise the cables can snap and come off. So I'm going to take this module and I'm going to put it off camera, and we'll come back to it later. So stay tuned for the next video. Hi, I'm Andrew, the Paisley Robot Guy. And if you like what you saw in that video, please hit the like and subscribe buttons below. I'd very much appreciate it. Thanks.